go. Okay, so if you want to do the challenging way, you can do it right on your heels like this. You can also tuck the toes underneath to stretch the toes at the same time, or you can just sit fully cross-legged. It's totally up to you. So on that first one, we're going to start with the head. And we want to make sure we're inhaling nice and deep. And as we inhale, I'm going to show you sideways. We want to imagine bringing the spine and the back of the head over top of the heels. So we're lifting, we're stacking everything on top. We're also taking the back of the head right under those occipital bones where that little ridge is, and we're going to lift it up and back and away. So we should feel a little bit of a hollowing in between our chest and our shoulder blades. So once we find that spot, we're going to inhale, we're going to tuck the chin, but continue to lift the head behind. So we don't want to curl, we want to lift and tuck. And on the exhale, we're going to send the chin up and back. We're going to go nice and slow here at your own pace. We're going to take all of this really deliberate, so we don't just want to speed through. The whole time we're taking the head and the spine back. Good, let's do a few more here. Maybe 2 more on each side. And when we're ready, we're gonna go side to side. So shaking it out if you need to readjust your feet in between, go for it. And from here, we're gonna do that same thing. So bring the head up and away. And this time we're gonna take the ear and we're gonna tuck the face over towards the ear without curling. So we don't wanna crick the neck. We just wanna take the top of the head and rotate slightly and to the other side. So very similar to our jazz isolations, but the main difference is just lifting and stacking the spine fully and going super slow. Good, we're gonna keep breathing. Let's do one more on each side. And we'll go ahead and release, shake it out. Ooh. Should start to feel those nerve endings kind of stretching up and away. If you're feeling that, that's good. The next one we're gonna do is our arms. So same idea, this time we either wanna sit up off the heels, so we're gonna be on the knees, or if that's a little too much, we can always sit back on the heels again, as long as we have space for our arm to make a full circle. So now we're gonna go through each one of our arm sections, and let's start with the left hand. I want you to spread the fingers out as wide as you can. We're gonna extend those fingers away from the head. So same idea, we wanna feel like our head is stretching up and our fingers are stretching down. And from here, taking that left hand, we're gonna stretch the thumb up and forward. Once we get to about halfway, we're gonna lock the shoulder into the back and then take it all the way up. Once we get to the top, you can see, we can get to the very top. We're gonna rotate the thumb now forward, rotate the palm out and away, and then continue the rest of the way down and around. And this is also very slow and deliberate. So we want to make sure we're engaging the shoulder, engaging the spine. And we rotate and come down. Good. The other thing we want to be careful of is that we're not rotating the torso So we want to keep our shoulders square to the front the whole time. So even as we rotate, we want to keep those torsos forward as much as we can. Let's do 2 more big circles, engaging the shoulder blade, feeling the muscles squeezing. Good, continue to reach those fingers around as far as we can. Good. Once we finish that last one, keep that same shoulder engaged. Now we're going to take it behind. So this time our pinky is going to lead us back. Once we get to about here, we're going to rotate the palm out and up. This is going to really compact that shoulder blade into the spine. Then we're going to rotate it up and around, still keeping that torso forward. And all the way. Good. From here, let's make sure we take a deep breath in, send it back, rotate, pack it into the spine, and take it up and around. Good. And again, feeling those muscles working. Imagining the ball and socket inside the shoulder blade being isolated. Good, let's do 1 more time around. Deep breath. Rotate. And let it go. Very nice. Let's shake it out. And we'll do the other side. So here we go. Let's take that right arm. Let's make sure we send the head up and away. Stack the spine on top of the hips. We're going to send the fingers away. And inhale, let's bring it up and forward. Pack the shoulder blade in. Rotate and come around. Good. Make sure we're feeling the back working. If there's any part of this where we kind of lose that connection in the shoulder, make sure we stop and repack it in. Good. Keep breathing wherever we are. Let's try to get at least 5 rotations. And once we get to about 5, let's go ahead and shake it out. We'll keep everything engaged, and we're going to do the other side. So from here, take that right pinky, send it back, rotate, pack it in, bring it around town. Good, nice and slow. Inhale, up and around. Good. Once we get our hands about, maybe right about here behind us, make sure you send your head away from the shoulders. So really press those shoulders down, away from the ears. I'm going to keep reminding and keep cueing just so we stay aware. And let's do 1 more. Inhale back, up and around. And back down. Very nice. So if you need to, go ahead and give yourself a little moment, reset, shake it out. Maybe take note of how everything's feeling so far. Maybe the upper half is a little more open. That's the goal. Just a little bit. That's good. That's what we want. So next, reading my notes here, we're gonna do our hips. So this is gonna be our little fire hydrant. So if you have a comfy spot on the floor, we're gonna spread those fingers wide. We're gonna keep the hands right under the shoulders, keep the knees right under the hips. Depending on how it feels today, you can either tuck the toes under or flatten them. Either one's okay. We do want to press into the feet though, wherever they are, and press into the hands. So all four are pressing equally, and we have a really straight spine. So if you do it right, you should feel like every single piece that's on the floor is pressing into the back. Very nice. Now from here, let's take the left leg. We're gonna bring it off the floor. We're gonna bring it forward towards the knee, towards the elbow. We're gonna lift it up to the side and then send it around to about 90 with our foot flexed. Then we're gonna bring it forward again. So there's three parts. There's up to the elbow, around to the side, up and back. Good. And we'll do that nice and slow, a couple of times. Imagine you're keeping your hips and your pelvis square to the mat or to the floor. There we go. Good. Again, we're isolating that ball and socket. So the joint, the leg joint, inside the hips. Good, let's do one more good one, all the way around. And down, we can put it down for a second. Shake it out if you need a little break. Whew. Take a couple deep breaths. And when we're ready, we're gonna do the same leg, and this time we're gonna go backwards. So from here, lifting that left side, we're gonna send the foot up to 90. We're gonna open it out to the side, bring it around to the elbow, and then back to center. Good. Try to keep it off the ground the whole time. We're imagining our glutes helping us, so our muscles in the legs can squeeze. Take it nice and slow. We want to explore that space, not just rush through it. Idea here. Let's see if we can get to 5. So wherever you are, maybe let's do one more. And back down. Very nice. Give yourself a little moment. Shake it out. Rock side to side. If you need a little breath or some water, go for it. And we'll do the other side. All right, so same idea here. Plant those hands, press into the knees and into the toes. Make sure our spine is nice and connected. We should feel that in the back, maybe in the abs. And from here, let's take the right leg, bring it forward to the elbow, out to the side, and up and around. And we'll do 5 of these nice and slow. Breathe. See how high you can lift it up. Good. See if you can soften the muscles in the face, even though you're working real hard on the back side. Excellent. Let's do one more here. Lift it up and around and release. You can drop it down. Shake it out. Got like 10-15 seconds of rest. Whew. Note to self, Don't wear a sweatshirt to class. It's hot in here. All right, let's do the other side. So when we're ready, we're gonna take the foot up and back. Make sure we're planted. And we lift. Squeeze that glute out to the side, forward and around. Good. Use the support of your other 3 limbs that are on the ground to help you. Squeeze that glute as we lift, open out. Good, let's do one more. Up and around. And down. Very nice, you guys. Let's shake it out. Take a couple deep breaths. Good. So we did head, we did arms, we did hips. Now we have legs. So this is our fave. This is going to be our 90-degree legs. So let's go ahead and have a seat wherever we are. And let's start with the right leg. So we're going to take the right leg in front. And we're going to make it parallel to wherever front is for you. And then taking that left leg, we're going to send it back. Still bending the knee at 90 degrees. So the front leg and the back leg are both parallel. And once we're here, we want to try to sit up as tall as possible. Maybe it's only the right side that's on the ground. That's okay. The left hip might be a little bit tight. That's all right. We're going to work on internal and external rotation on each one of these legs. So from here, once they're in line with each other, we're going to flex the toes so that they're pointed as forward as possible. We're going to start to squeeze the legs, pressing those knees down into the floor. So we want to engage the base. And from here, we're just going to rest. If you want to put your hands to the sides, that's okay. But we want to isolate the legs. So with each passing second, we're going to increase the intensity of the squeeze. So as we press down, we're going to try to squeeze the muscles as if we were flexing, but we're pressing down with those. So we want to gradually increase until we get to our very max. We might shake a little bit, that's okay. We're going to breathe and squeeze so our muscles are as tight as they can be right now. Couple more seconds, deep breath in and exhale. So soften just a little bit. Make sure we don't lose that length in our spine though, so we still want to keep pressing a little bit. From here, we're going to make little circles with our spine. So we want to circle around to the left towards that left leg. Finding all those little crevices in the hips. Maybe this is really tight, that's okay. We're just going to loosen up as much as we can in those hip sockets. Good. If you want a little bit more intensity, so you're welcome to keep doing circles. This is sort of level 1 to get everything loose. If this feels pretty good, you can point the back toe, and we're going to try to lift that left knee off the ground without losing any height in our spine. So we're going to try to lift the knee and then close it down. Good. Now this is
Tell me he's adorable.
There's a happy boy. So even if we only lifted a couple of inches, that's okay. If you can lift it all the way open, whatever works for you. We can also use the right leg to press into the floor for more stability. Good, let's do a couple more times. If there's a cramp or anything else crazy going on, we can rest it. No need to push like crazy. And from here, let's bring that left knee down. And if we can, here's a little challenge. We're gonna keep the right leg forward. We're gonna see if we can lift the left knee and bring that foot forward into a cross-legged position. Yes, very nice. Now from here, we'll just switch sides. So bring the left leg forward, right leg all the way back. We may notice a difference from one side to the other. It's all right. Make sure our legs are parallel. So left calf, right thigh. Once we get there, let's flex those toes forward and start to engage the muscles. We're gonna press the knees down into the floor. If you can do this without using hands, that's awesome. If you need a little support, you can place the tips of the fingers right on the floor. So when we're ready, go ahead and add a little bit more intensity. So we're squeezing the muscles downward, supporting the spine upward, and gradually finding our max. So our glutes, our legs, our thighs, our calves, even our ankles are squeezed. If we start to shake a little bit, that's all right. Good. We're feeling the intensity. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll release the legs, keep the spine tall. And from here, we'll make little circles. So we're going to use that spine, getting into the hip sockets a little bit. It might be very minuscule micro movements, but that's all right. It's all about finding a bigger amplitude through small adjustments. So we're welcome to stay here. If this feels okay and you need a little more, we can point the back toe, and we're gonna start to lift that right knee off the floor, keeping our spine tall. Also pressing into that front leg. So we get just a little bit of help from our stability, from our base. Good. Very nice, you guys. Make sure we're breathing. That's it. A couple more times. And when we're ready, we're going to bring that back leg all the way up and forward into our cross-legged position. Very nice. All right, let's shake those legs out, shake the body out. Hopefully there's some changes going on in our lower half now. So that was our hips. Now we're going to move on to our ankles. So this is where we're going to use our band. So if you have one, go ahead and grab that. Like I said, a scarf or a shirt or whatever else you have is fine. We just need a little bit of resistance. So for this one, we're gonna stay seated. We also have one where we're gonna lay down, but this one we're gonna start sitting up. And from here, we're gonna take our left leg. Let's place whatever it is around the ball of the foot. And sitting up nice and tall, what we're gonna do is point both toes up towards the sky. Let me sit this way so you can see what I'm doing. So both toes are up towards the sky, and we're gonna gradually start to flex those toes back towards the face. And with that left side where our band is, we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of resistance by pulling that foot inward. So by now the leg is super engaged. We're pushing our energy out towards the heel, through the heel, and toes are back. And we're sitting up nice and tall. We're gonna hold this, gradually adding a little bit more pressure with each breath. So we wanna get to our very max. muscles are fully engaged. If it starts to shake, that's okay too. While we're here, see if you can tuck the hips back a little bit too. So not quite arching the back, but we want to imagine that our spine is coming forward towards the toe as we send the hips away. That'll get us into the hamstrings a little bit. Good. Let's do one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're going to release that tension. And we'll leave the band there. Just give ourselves a little moment. You can shake them out. Hopefully we're feeling good. Everyone doing okay?
What should the other leg and foot be doing, Alex? Just hanging out?
The other one you can engage as well. It won't be as intense because you don't have any resistance, but you do want both of them up, yeah. Good question.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so when we're ready, let's go back to this guy. We're gonna gradually start to flex again. Now from here, we're gonna actually move the ankle a bit, so we're gonna flex and point. So we wanna make sure we're fully straight up and down first, our legs are engaged. Once we get to here, we're gonna try to move just from the ankle. We're gonna point the ankle forward. If you wanna curl the toes at the end, that's cool too, but we're really just moving the ankle right now. So we're gonna point and flex, trying to keep our leg the same distance as it started. So ankle's going down and up, that's it. See if we can keep the toes in that same track. So if you're pointing and your toes are going inward or outward, we want to try to correct that and keep it going forward, down the track, and then back. That's it. Good. Couple more times. Go ahead and release. That's it. Shake it out. And from here, we'll go ahead and switch sides. All right. So same idea. I'm gonna take the opposite leg. Put our band right on the ball of that foot. We're gonna flex both feet, both toes up towards the sky. See if we can get our spine nice and tall. Once we're there, we're going to grab the band and pull it inward as much as we can, gradually increasing the amount of tension. The more we pull the toes towards us, the more we push the heel away. So we want to continue that long line. Also imagine sending our hips slightly back, so that we can engage the hamstrings as well. Breathing deep. Giving as much as we've got, using those legs. Go ahead and deep breath in. Exhale, release. Keep those legs where they are. You can just let go of the muscles. Shake them out if you need to. So still keeping our body engaged. We don't want to fully let go between each thing. We want to keep it relatively engaged even when we're relaxed. And when we're ready, let's go to the next. So same foot. This time we're gonna point and flex from the ankle. So coming back to that place, engaging the leg, sending the heel away. up nice and tall, and when we're ready, we're gonna point from the ankle, sending the energy away and back up. So again, if you want to curl the toes at the end, that's awesome. If not, that's okay too. You can use just the ball of the foot. But we want to imagine the ankle doing all of the work. Good, keeping it in that same track, so try not to let our toes curl in or out. Breathing. We'll do a couple more. Let's take one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll go ahead and release, and we can take the band off. We'll go ahead and shake those legs out. Take a couple moments here. We got about 20, 30 more seconds to relax.